tourism. As we celebrate this milestone, we do so stronger, more united, and more determined to build a tourism sector that is truly resilient. We thank our citizens, partners, and friends worldwide for their patience and support. Jamaica stands ready once again, open and safe.
We in this together.
The time by Sagicor is
7 p.m.
Tonight in CVM News at 7% increase. JPS customers to see uptick in electricity bills this month. 3 killed following police operation in St. James. And also in the news, tributes pouring following passing of RGR Gleaner Group CEO. Later in Small Biz Big Dreams, Sugar Sweet, the story of a sugarcane vendor in Portland. And later in sports, reigning champions Mona High and Kingston College advanced to semi-finals of Walker Cup. And a little later, we will be joining Nika Lewis, who's in middle quarters in St. Elizabeth. From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7 for Monday, December 15, 2025. I'm Amoy Harriet. Thanks for joining us. Up first this evening, the Office of Utilities Regulation, OUR, says JPS customers will see a 7% increase on their bills this month. The OUR says the adjustment was anticipated as JPS had to rely on more expensive fuel sources for generation because natural gas was unavailable in the period leading up to and immediately after Hurricane Melissa. Now, among other things, the hurricane resulted in an approximately 30% reduction in sales, which contributed significantly to the increase in the fuel and independent power producer rates. Now, these factors, the OUR argues, could have translated to a big hike in the 2025 November bills. However, to avoid bill shock to customers, JPS, in consultation with the OUR, has opted to defer some of the increase in fuel and IPP costs and recover it by spreading it over the upcoming months. The OUR says given the scale of the disaster, it may take up to 6 months for electricity generation costs to stabilize and for energy consumption to normalize. Now, as the Christmas season gets into full swing, police and security experts are urging shoppers to stay alert both online and in stores. Digital communications team lead at the JCF, Assistant Superintendent Kayla Keane, says some often forget to take safety measures, leaving them vulnerable to threats. Carla Ramdeen tells us more.
As the Christmas season approaches, police are warning the public to be extra vigilant, as criminals often take advantage of increased shopping activity. Digital communications team lead at the JCF, Assistant Superintendent Kayla Keane, says people should avoid clicking on suspicious links online, only use trusted websites, and avoid sharing personal or banking information.
I want persons to be situationally aware, to be aware when you're online. Don't be buying from places that you don't know, transferring large sums of money to buy vehicles, for example, to companies that you don't even know if they're registered. There are simple checks and balances that you can do as a responsible customer, and we as the police are here to assist you in any way you need. So if you want to verify that a company is legitimate, the fraud squad is there.
Assistant Superintendent Keane explains that shoppers should also remain alert and strategic while shopping in person.
The same situational awareness, target hardening. So when you go into the public space, if you're going shopping, you shouldn't be out there wandering around aimlessly. Criminals look at you, they profile you. They say to themselves, does it make sense to rob this person? They actually go through that thought process. So if you're out there, you have little children, the children are running around, you are making yourself an easy target. If you're out there, you're not sure of where you're going, you're walking around asking for directions, when you could have stayed home, look on Google, say, all right, this store is there, that one is there, I can go to Crossroad, then I can go downtown. So I want you to be strategic with your shopping.
In the meantime, security consultant Robert Finzi-Smith is urging parents to make their children more aware of potential dangers during the season.
Inform your children that not everyone as an adult is to be listened to if they don't know them. So do not go off with anyone. And if you go into department stores, find a point that you can point out to the child and say, if for perchance you get lost, this is where we will meet up.
Carla Ramdeen, CVM News.
3 men were shot and killed and 2 firearms recovered by police in Rose Heights, Montego Bay, St. James earlier this afternoon. Reports are that shortly after 2 o'clock, residents alerted our news team following what they described as a barrage of gunshots in an area known as 41. Now, it's not clear how the incident occurred, but one police source revealed that a number of other men ran from a silver minivan and were chased by police but escaped. Up to late this afternoon, the police were still on the scene awaiting the arrival of Indicom to process the scene. The government is moving to reform Jamaica's ganja industry, positioning the island for expanded growth and global opportunity. The push comes as the United States federal government edges closer to a major decision that could reclassify marijuana status under U.S. law. Ganja has long been woven into Jamaica's culture, but now global policy shifts could determine how far that tradition travels. The United States federal government is on the verge of formally easing marijuana's federal status. President Donald Trump is considering issuing an executive order to reclassify marijuana from a Schedule 1 drug, which is classified as very restrictive, to a Schedule 3 drug, which is less restrictive and can be recognized for medical use.
In the U.S., it has already been legalized in some states for recreational purposes and also for medicinal purposes at the state level. At the federal level, that gives it a whole new dimension. And that has a ripple effect in terms of trade, investment, manufacturing, research, and just increasing exports. So you look at the domestic cannabis industry is worth maybe around 50 million US or 8 billion Jamaican. In the US, it's worth 32 billion. For the globe, it's worth almost 100 billion. So that's a market that can be easily tapped into now.
Here in Jamaica, the use of ganja in small amounts has been decriminalized. As at November 2025, there are 191 licensed cannabis operators in Jamaica.
The challenge with many of the licensees is that they're just unable to really do well because of the restrictive nature of how cannabis is dealt with on a global level. And once the US shifts their position on the issue, it will open doors. It's inevitable.
Doors that include banking opportunities.
In the past, the main problem that we have had as it relates to the cannabis industry is corresponding banking relationships. So that stigma that's associated with cannabis traditionally because of its status in law has tended to hinder business relationships. So, they are hesitant to interact with companies where the proceeds of the business activities are derived from something that was thought to be traditionally illegal.
Now, the global cannabis market is expanding, already worth tens of billions of US dollars.
We can't compete in terms of quantity, certainly. But in the global village, Jamaica has a brand, And that is what we can compete effectively on. We're seen as a niche brand. We certainly need to ensure that we develop better and more reliable strains as it relates to cannabis. We need to ensure that our strains are respected, that the quality is high.
As the world now watches and waits for the Trump administration's decision on reform, Jamaica is laying the groundwork for reforms of its own.
I think the government has to be proactive about developing that sort of regulatory framework and making it more agile so that it can evolve with what's happening, because this is just one development. It could be more positive even in the future. So right now is really where you're starting to think about taking off.
And certainly in the new year, you will see promulgation of a new approach to address issues faced by small or more traditional cultivators of ganja who want to be in a legal space. Essentially, we're going to make it easier for them to get involved. The identification card has been an issue, of course, an issue as it relates to the quickness of renewing licenses, special permits for cultivators, especially the traditional players, to make it easier for them to get in, because there's a sense that the barriers to entry are a little bit too high for person. And the reason why the barriers to entry are high is because of the global context within which we operate, because we are essentially audited by an agency of the UN.
With the Easter term of a school year set to begin in just over 3 weeks, the Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness has announced a series of housing grants and support measures for displaced residents sheltering at the Petersfield High School in Westmoreland. Now, concerns have been mounting in recent weeks about students interacting with people who are still housed on school campuses. As Crystal Williams now reports, the government says it's racing to ensure families are relocated in time.
I am your servant. I am here to serve you.
Reassurance from Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness speaking with residents sheltering at the Petersfield High School in Westmoreland at the weekend. Dr. Holness says the government is committed to ensuring that persons living in the shelters at the high school are relocated in time for the resumption of classes in January. He says some persons will be able to find permanent solutions, while some will have to make transitional arrangements until permanent ones are available. But he says he will ensure that they are in a better position than they are currently in.
The school is not the permanent solution for your situation. We must reopen the school come January. We are going to provide the solutions to you for you to be relocated from the school.
The Prime Minister also says there are multiple levels of grants available for people who need to replace fixtures such as roofs that have been extremely or moderately damaged.
Now I know some people that get the grant, they're gone a year later, they're gone and they go back and say, they never get it. When that happens, because we will call you in and you get the grant. So when you get the grant, the first place you must go is the hardware. And rebuild your home, right?
Crystal Williams, CVM News.
It's time for a break. When we come back, our senior reporter Nika Lewis will be joining us from the Middle Quarters Primary School in St. Elizabeth. We'll be right back.
Super Center, you can fill your Christmas list.
It's a Christmas to remember. Get ready for Azan Super Center's Super Sale. From now until Christmas, experience the sale event of the season with incredible savings and super deals. Come get your decorations, lights, gifts, and all the best items for your Christmas party. Why ship when you can shop at Azan Super Center? Our sale is on, so why wait for freight?
So this Christmas, make it Azan Super Center for sure.
It's a lifestyle.
All you want for Christmas is your two-front seat, your two-front seat, your two-front seat. At Jamaica Pegasus, you your two front seat for Christmas comedy cook-off.
Friday, December 26th at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel. Gates open 6 p.m. Showtime 7:30 sharp. Tickets at SpurOpen.com. Info 876-542-4160. Part proceeds support hurricane relief. Christmas comedy cook-off. Sponsored by KFC and Jamaica
At
Pegasus.
Jamaica Pegasus, your two front seat for Christmas comedy cook-off.
The internationally acclaimed On Stage with Winfred Williams.
At a new time, Saturdays at 8 p.m. on CVM TV.
So much more than entertainment.
Thank you so much for making it CVM News at 7. Welcome back. We are in the beautiful parish, or what's left of the beautiful breadbasket parish of St. Elizabeth. We're at the middle quarters primary school all the way out here in St. Elizabeth. And to join me now to discuss what happened here on the ground today as we uncover the mysteries of the resilience of these people in St. Elizabeth is reporter Kevin Black. The Portlander has made his first trek into St. Elizabeth. Kevin? All right, so Kevin, tell us firstly what you made of your first time in St. Elizabeth after Hurricane Melissa ravaged and did all that it did here.
It was heartbreaking. I've been hearing about the destruction for a long time now, but seeing some of it for myself, even after Hurricane Melissa has passed, the effects are still visible, and it's visible on the people as well. I saw some people looking depressed, some people having feelings of despair as well. But also, I saw resilience. I saw people recovering. I saw people rebuilding. I saw people engaging, selling, and people were just being strong. And they're little, but they're talawa.
Indeed. And something that Kevin said to me is that Portland really didn't receive the kind of hit that St. Elizabeth received. So Kevin, tell us about the story that you wrote from what you witnessed here today.
So initially, we actually didn't go to get that story. We're actually turning, and we saw two young ladies sitting down at the Middle-West community, not the Middlesex community, and they looked so depressed, and they were contemplating about what they were going to do with their lives moving forward. So we prepared a little news package to tell these persons' stories, and this is the package. While traversing through the parish of St. Elizabeth, we encountered some young ladies who were seemingly filled with despair and depression. These young ladies expressed to our news team that the recovery process is seemingly slow for residents in Middle-West community.
We lost everything. Everything. I lost everything. Everyone lost everything. We'd have to run to the school for shelter. And the school all are tear down far away. We have to run from one side to the other. My house smashed up, I'm not in a house right now,
No. Ferguson says she is overwhelmed and feeling completely hopeless in the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa.
Right now, I'm still I wonder, say, boy, what am I going to do? What am I going to do now? Because I have two kids, a 2-year-old and an 8-year-old. And you get up, Mommy, I can't bother this life, Mommy, this, Mommy, that. Yeah, I mean, if you know how to say, all right, my baby, one day it'll go get better. It kind of worse now, but it will take it step by step.
She adds that assistance from the relevant authorities has so far been limited, leaving residents to fend for themselves.
At one time, it's my MP, and I went, Andrew Morris. At one time, I see Andrew Morris and come in my yard and say, oh, it is very disastrous. Oh my God, that's the only thing he said. And I know I'm not see me MP in Middlesex here, so not even councillor. Right now, I'm not even know councillor for Middlesex right now. Yeah, me tell her, me tell myself say, me not depend upon the government, because the government not help we. So me have to try one way out. For me, the government not going to help we. Material me need, material. Okay. If them get material, Me, we start my house now.
Ferguson also outlines how members of the public can reach out to offer support and assistance.
My number is 589-5891. We need shelter over our head. I know me alone, but everybody, as far as you can see over there, so with the housing, everybody. I know me alone.
Residents in the Middlesex community in St. Elizabeth are pleading to the relevant authorities for some assistance moving forward. Kevin Black reporting for CVM News.
All right, so what we would have seen and heard caused much of an impact and left quite the mark on the reporters, including myself. We're now joined by Omari Wilson, and he's also from our newsroom. Omari went into one of the educational bastions here in St. Elizabeth. Talk to us about that experience, Omari.
So I went to the St. Elizabeth Technical High School. Now, classes are back in session at States. It's a staggered approach, so sometimes there are the upper level students such as grade 11 and CAPE, and then they rotate it and you have like the lower school students coming in every other day or stuff like that. But at the same time, while school is happening, construction and rebuilding is also happening at States, and the principal spoke about what the plan is and how far they have reached thus far. Since, you know, over 1 month of the passage of Hurricane Melissa, they have had the opportunity of getting roofs back up, which, you know, has caused them to have more classroom spaces. But the story overall is one where the passage of Hurricane Melissa did some form of devastation or left some form of devastation at States, but at the same time the school spirit at States is high and they're back up in their classrooms learning while also rebuilding.
Indeed.
Standing in what's left of one of the blocks here at the St. Elizabeth Technical High School. Now, as you can see, the roof is completely gone from this block, and this is the last floor at the school. Now, we'll be having a conversation with the principal here at States to hear what's the plan of action moving forward, what will be done as it pertains to restructuring, rebuilding this block at the school specifically. Will it be board or will it be a better structure?
So all of these panels have been destroyed. There is also some structural damage. So this is probably one major loss. So this would have given us, this is about 9 classrooms. So these 9 classrooms we will have to do without maybe for the rest of the school year.
What has been done thus far as it relates to recovery and restoration efforts at States?
We have been able to re-roof this building along with the one to the east westerly side, as well as that one has been totally re-roofed. So we have now gotten back a total of 9 classrooms based on the work done on those areas.
Have there been any plans or communications to build back stronger?
The engineers have made recommendations as to how we can adequately replace what was there without and minimize the risk of something like this happening again. So we're working with the engineers' report and looking at our various options. That's why I said that we probably will have to do with all this for this entire school year. The other areas that lost roofing, there are some areas that we're looking to deck rather than replace with aluminum sheeting. And where we're putting on sheeting, we're going to be using the strongest possible grade. So
with recovery comes financial stability. What's the rough estimate to finance recovery at the institution?
The official estimate puts this at over $200 million. So we're looking at more than $200 million to replace this structure. Replace it meaning replace it right here. So we're not building a new block, but we'll have to replace what is here. If you include all the infrastructure and that was there, all the furniture, the networking and all of that, it's over $200 million.
Omari Wilson, CVM News. I'm standing in what?
Dr. Bamidele, how you pronounce your first name?
Or at the school. No, we'll be having a conversation.
Primary school. And so we're now being joined by Dr. How do you pronounce this?
Adeni Bamidele.
You heard the doctor, Adenye Bamidele, and he is the president of the Black River Rotary Club. He wears many other titles and hats, but today he's sticking with this one. And we're also being joined by Reverend Father Dr. Carlton Tullo. He is the priest in charge, or the rector at the St. John. No, the CVM TV visited Black River and spoke with you. Your church was of devastation, shambles, so to speak. What's the latest on your rebuild efforts?
Well, presently, our congregation is what we're trying to hold together. Fortunate for us, there was a building that the rector, the priest, lived in, and that is where we're now meeting, gathering, having worship under a tent on the lawn, and we're retrofitting that particular building to accommodate worship while we continue with the rebuilding of the parish church itself. That will take some time, and thank God partners are reaching out to us to guide us and to see how best we can get that going.
And so how has the Rotary Club here in St. Elizabeth, and specifically Black River, assisted in all that has been happening with rebuilding and building back stronger?
We thank you for inviting me. We've done quite a lot in terms of giving packages out, assisting people mentally, counseling them, and visiting homes. It's not enough, but we're doing more, and more is going to be done by the Rotary Club through collaborative effort that we have with our foreign partners from Jamaica here, Rotary Club of Kingston, Rotary Club of Mandeville. They're reaching out to us, and we're giving tremendous help in the areas of tarpaulin. We provided a Starlink for some of the communities, including Black River. Again, it's not enough, but we're going to be doing more.
Understood. And I'm certain, Reverend, that your church community has been receptive of your initiatives in resilience to try and host them, because I met with some of the residents here, and one of the things they said to me was that, Nika, had it not been for the church, we don't know how we would have fared after the storm. And so how do you perceive that Christmas will be any different this time around, given what you're going through as a church?
Well, next week, Monday, because when we met, we had planned to have a carol service. And we said just yesterday, we are going to have our carol service, and we're going to have it right in the town on the lawn of the church. And we will be there to treat the children as well. And we went around visiting. In the midst of everything, we saw 2 children kicking football on the lawn. And we said, what a moment of beauty. Here we have disaster, but the children were still able to play. We were worried about getting them going. We were worried about rebuilding house, building infrastructure, but at least they were playing. So we as a church, we have been visiting, taking care of the sick, taking care of packaging, looking about their medical, and we have actually brought some to the hospitals to ensure that they are well. We have taken off their spiritual needs by visiting them, giving them communion, and communicating with them.
Getting the wrap up, but final thoughts as to what your Christmas expectation will be as the rebuild continues in less than 30 seconds.
Well, we will do exactly what the pastor is talking about. And we always do it in Christmas, and we will continue to do it, irrespective of what happens.
Right, Bill. We're definitely going to be speaking with them after, but for now, we will be throwing it back to studio. And in fact, before we go to studio, Amoy, I saw you waiting, but before we come back to you, we talked to a family today. This is an elderly woman in a housing scheme in Lacovia, and she had this to say about when she sees rain. I'm sure her heart is going through the roof right now.
Beating Watton, hitting beating Bobowski, Watton, Monroe, rah, hooray.
Here we are inside Miss Carol's home in Lacovia housing scheme in St. Elizabeth. We are in what used to be a happy home, solid foundation with a roof. Now it's roofless. All that stands over it, 2 tarpaulins and the mercy of God. She and her son have called this home for generations, and yet right now they are left pretty much out in the cold. They've had to stay with other relatives, and this Christmas, they say, won't quite be merry. Despite gratitude for life, they would prefer if at least a roof would be placed on their home this December 25?
Right now, I don't have a mattress. So, in this area, the scheme, I'm the only one who lost like this. Others have lost their room, but I'm the only one that lost like this. So I thought, you know, because somebody came with it from the MP, was saying that the MP sent him to check. Nobody, when I went over the center, they said that he will check, he's going to check that somebody workers over there. And I saw him one day, he was going to Santa Cruz, and I said to him, Sir MP, we don't have any roof, you know, what happened? We coming. About 2 weeks now, I said nobody. But
she's further broken as her son, once the breadwinner, suffered a stroke that left him without his sight. But he hasn't lost his vision. He too is depressed but clings to hope in a brighter future where he is returned to his provider role and good health.
For me, it's bad, but when I'm not able to assist mommy, it's just tough on me, you know? It's tough because I used to be the breadwinner to her. When my father passed, even before my father passed, I was helping them as a parent. You know, I also helped my brother and sister through school, helping through school and stuff because, you know, I had a good job. I was working in the water commission and I started my own company. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
And so, as we depart from Miss Carol and her family's home, we remind you that despite the fact that Melissa may not have destroyed your home, your life, or your livelihood, there are still families here in St. Elizabeth more than a month later, dependent on your support to continue rebuilding.
Thank you so much, Nika Lewis, out there in Middle Quarters, St. Elizabeth, along with our reporters Kevin Black and Omari Wilson. Let's now head to a quick break. We'll be right back.
Being together with a KFC festive 9 bucket for $4,500. The time by KFC is
7:30 p.m.
Double the holiday cheer with Frigidaire. Christmas is a time for sharing with family and friends. And this Christmas, Singer gives you a chance to double the holiday cheer with Frigidaire. Buy any Frigidaire item from Singer, value $30,000 or more plus GCT from December 6th to January 10, and get a chance to be one of 6 winners to share $500,000 in prizes. Upgrade your kitchen with our main prizes of a 5-burner stainless steel stove or a side-by-side refrigerator, or get one of the consolation prizes of a freezer or microwave. Shop now. Conditions apply. See the price for details. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting Game and Lotteries Act.
Check, love and respect. Now let me tell you about some quick and easy winnings. If you live in Portmore and you use a toll every day of the week, you drive a car or SUV, you can save close to $30,000 in 6 months. That's almost $60,000 a year. I mean, no brainer, right? So make smart money moves like a winner and use a tag lane every time.
Buckle and you're driving safe. Use up your T-tag, drive and save.
Make smart money moves like a winner and use your T-tag every time.
Where it all begins. The quest to become great. Inspired by those who went before them, these 4 boys dream of playing in the ISSA schoolboy football competitions.
Will you score this for Casey? Will you score? It's a shot, it's a goal!
And it's a shot, and it's a goal! And Casey has won the Manning Cup, and they will play Clarendon College in the Olivia Shield.
Welcome back. We're continuing the news. Shock and sadness have gripped the media fraternity following the passing of Chief Executive Officer of the RGR Gleaner Communications Group, Anthony Smith. Mr. Smith died on Sunday after a brief period of illness and hospitalization. Now, as you'll hear in this report, tributes and condolences are also pouring in from both the government and opposition.
We met with profound shock. It was something that was completely out of left field and deeply unfortunate. Tragic, really.
President of the Media Association of Jamaica, Dominic Bobron, almost at a loss for words when recounting the moment the organization got news of RGR Gleaner's CEO Anthony Smith's passing. Mr. Smith, who was married with a son, was an engineer by training and held executive roles in telecommunications in Jamaica and the wider Caribbean, including at Cable and Wireless and Massey Technologies. Mr. Bobron described Mr. Smith as a respected media executive and veteran communicator.
Anthony, as I said, was a man of quiet resolve and a really good person who communicated in clear lines as any engineer of substance would. But a good human being.
Mr. Bobron says the association will honor Mr. Smith's legacy, noting his contribution to Jamaican media and the lives he impacted. Meanwhile, feeling a similar sense of loss, Executive Chairman of CVM Television, Dr. Delroy Howell, says Mr. Smith's passing has shaken the entire media landscape.
Great shock. Great shock. It's an immense loss to the media fraternity.
Dr. Howell noted that at moments like this, competition gives way to solidarity, stressing that Jamaica's media houses stand together as one family.
Although we operate in the same sphere and we would see ourselves as competitors at times, but when things like this happen, we're a family and we share with our TVJ family. So moments like this, it shows us the reality of life. It really just get us back to what life is all about, and that's relationship. So we send our condolences to the family. We are with them. We're with TVJ at this time.
Now, the Caribbean Broadcasting Union on Monday expressed condolence to Mr. Smith's family, friends, and colleagues at the RGR Gleaner Group, describing his passing as a major loss to regional media. Culture Minister Olivia Babsy Grange, the Governor General Sir Patrick Allen, and opposition figures including Nikisha Burchell are among those who have also expressed sadness, paying tribute to Mr. Smith's leadership and service to the nation.
I found him to be such a humble and soft-spoken individual. We will surely miss him. With Mr. Smith's death, we have lost yet another of the outstanding leaders of our media fraternity.
His absence or the void that he leaves behind will be duly noted.
Mr. Smith has really left a mark on all of us, and they should be proud to call him dad, to call him son, to call him hunk, to call him brother, whatever.
Now, tonight on Small Biz, Big Dreams, we head to Port Antonio, where one entrepreneur is turning sugarcane into a steady livelihood for his family. Our reporter Kevin Black spoke with Devon White, a vendor whose daily grind reflects the resilience of small business owners across Jamaica.
Tonight, on Small Biz, Big Dreams, we head to Port Antonio to meet a man who has turned simple sugarcane into a daily livelihood and a symbol of perseverance. This is Small Biz, Big Dreams. In the early morning light, before most people start their day, Devon Watt is already at work. Boots in the dirt, machete in hand, and rows of sugarcane stretching out before him. For more than 20 years, this has been his livelihood and his pride.
As the days goes by, we just learn the business, look more and more. I go look the sugarcane and come back and just peel it, put it in the bag, have it ready for the people them. That they can have it and enjoy it. I start the business from a long time, so people don't just get ick to my cane, and my cane is extra sweet.
For Devon, sugarcane isn't just something to sell, it's the foundation of his family's livelihood. He explains that his children remain his greatest motivation.
Sometimes difficult, sun get hot, sometimes I have to go extra early to do what I do, to get out of it. Other people do them thing, I just keep my thing rolling, I got my kids them to take care of. I got two little girls, one in UTech. I got to work hard to take care of.